You need help passing the video? Yeah, that can be a little bit stressful. I do have a lot of tips on that. I have several videos on TikTok and also on the tube. I have that in my profile. You can go to that one. We don't usually interview by ourselves, basically. And that's what you're doing essentially. And so you really need to practice how to do that interviewing. With the video interview, you really need to make sure first that you are straight on as you're talking. One bad habit that people have got into now that we have now that video is very prevalent. I even heard this on TikTok, that they're even saying on TikTok, you should talk like you're FaceTiming someone. No, you don't. You don't want to do that on a video interview. You want to make sure your camera or your computer is steady. You want to make sure it is even with your face. You want to make sure that when you are answering questions, you are looking at the camera. So right now I'm looking at myself. So you guys can probably see that I'm looking at my own image as well as looking at the comments. But when you're doing a video interview, you want to definitely look eye contact with the camera. You want to make sure that you're smiling the whole time while you're answering, which can be very hard and awkward. The one thing I would do is practice that. Practice answering a question, basic question. Why do you want to be a flight attendant? Go in front of the mirror and practice answering that and see what your face is doing. That is a big thing. If you're having trouble with the questions, go to Google, interview questions for United's face-to-face. The other thing I highly recommend for a video interview is you want to make sure that you understand the company that you are interviewing with. What's their mission statement, their brand? Every airline has a brand, a saying. I think Delta's is keep climbing. I can't remember Americans either. What the heck? It's because I've looked at all of them and they're all mixing in my head. So you wanna make sure you know what their brands are. Look it up real quick. United Airlines brand, because there's a lot of United stuff. United says good leads the way. Reliability, innovation, customer connection. You want to know those. They have a brand identity and mission. You want to know what that is because there might be a question on that. Hint, hint. I don't know if they'd still ask that, but that was the one that I failed because they basically said, what does the brand mean to you? So if I were answering the question for United today and they said, what does the United brand mean to you? The saying is good leads the way. Their core values are safety, caring, dependability, and efficiency. Good leads the way. You want to incorporate that so you know what their brand is, basically. Those are some tips for the video interview. I went into a little bit more detail than what I do sometimes on my videos, but hopefully that will help.